Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am very excited to be teaching on the uncommon woman. And as you hop in, let me know where you are streaming in from. And of course, invite a friend and invite another friend and invite a friend. I'm literally going to share this into my Facebook group, Lioness Arising, and we are good to go. So I was sitting here doing my work and I'm like, there's something that I want to talk about that has been happening in my own life. And I'm like, I've just been hearing different versions of, you're an uncommon woman, you have uncommon values, you have an uncommon favor, you have an uncommon anointing. And that word has come over to me so many times. I said to myself, I must do a 3-day series on what it means to be an uncommon next level woman. We will be doing the series starting next week, but today I just want to do a snapshot so that you can know what to expect. We'll run it for 3 days next week. And that should be the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I can't wait to have you. All the information will be sent in advance. But right now, what I want to do is just to give you a small peek into what it means to be uncommon. And I think the best thing to do, like I always do, is I love going to my dictionary. So we're going to go to the dictionary and check what uncommon means. Because according to me, uncommon means extraordinary. Uncommon means not like everybody else. So let's see what uncommon means in the dictionary. So it means out of the ordinary. It means unusual. What it means to be uncommon is not often found or seen, not ordinary, remarkable, uncommon ability, uncommon courage. Let's see which other dictionary meanings are there. Let's go to Cambridge, because I love Cambridge. Cambridge is very close to me. It says not seen or happening or experienced often. So are you a woman who is not seen, who is not experienced often because of your behavior, how you show up, that you have exceptional qualities that make you stand out of the crowd, that you are at another level in terms of your thinking and in terms of your capacity. You do not take offense over things that should not matter. You do not hold on to grudges. You do not do the things that make most people common. When it comes to your talents and skills, you're very happy to share them, because you know that your gifts were not just given to you to waste. Your gifts and talents were given to you so that you can use them for a ripple effect and a ripple of effect for good in the world. And understanding that as an uncommon woman, you learn to let go of what you cannot control. And you understand that if you cannot change it, it's time to accept it and find a way to live with it instead of being always perpetually frustrated or upset. I'm going to repeat that. If something, you cannot control it. You cannot control what is happening in Ukraine right now. You cannot control certain elements of your life. They are outside of your control. So if there's anything in your life as an uncommon woman, you will recognize is that if you cannot change it, accept the situation as it is and find a way to work around it, to cope with it, to live with it in a way that it doesn't frustrate you or push you down. Instead of being frustrated or upset, is somebody listening to me? Is somebody listening? Is somebody listening? Somebody getting this? Because what I've accepted is at the moment, as an uncommon woman, you accept that you are exactly where you're supposed to be and that you have everything you need to perform the utmost good in your capacity. That's where the miracles begin to happen. And the thing is, for me, as an individual, I have understood that the secret for keeping my mind on the right things, the secret for being in a position of not unnecessarily worrying or getting anxious over things is because, my mind is like always saying that there's something better happening. Be patient, Joanne. Live your life. Have faith. Keep going no matter what. Because I've seen circumstances in my life where things have just gone in a way that I did not anticipate, and in a good way. Why? Because I always work with the laws. And yesterday I was teaching my ladies in the Next Level on Purpose mastermind group about the importance of tapping into the spiritual laws. And I'm going to share one, a couple of them during the 3-day event. But I want you to understand this, that as an uncommon woman, the first thing that you need to understand is that you're not ordinary. No matter the life that you're living or the life that you're leading right now, you can choose to be the exception rather than the rule. And I was thinking about my time in high school. I went to an all-girls high school. We all wore the exact same clothes, school uniform, bright red clothes, bright red anoraks, white socks, black shoes. We looked like photocopies of each other. Of course, different shapes and different sizes. And that's what happens. We are programmed from an early age. Uniform is to make you the same. You're meant to look the same. Nobody's meant to feel superior to the other. It levels you, right? And that's a good thing. However, as you continue with your life, what happens is that you're so used to conforming, you become so used to being like everybody else, that when people start living extraordinary lives, it triggers you because you're used to the commonness of the common man. Like, you're used to people doing things the exact same way. When a fashion trend comes out, name it, whatever it is, blue jeans, example, and everybody's rocking blue jeans, and the person who wears white jeans, you point a finger at them and you say, that person is different. Why? Because you're not used to standing out. You're not used to showing up differently. But as an uncommon woman, it is time for you to take hold of your personal territory, take back your power and say that I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to take a stance for things in a different way. And the thing is, as an uncommon woman, you also learn to understand what battles are yours to fight. Many of us take over other people's problems, take over other people's issues, take over other people's decisions, which end up impacting how you are living your own life. Because you're so busy carrying Peter, John, Mary's burdens and putting them on your back, you forget your own. And the next thing is that life has passed you by and you are busy trying to keep other people warm when your own fire has grown cold. So here you're trying to blow a fire to stoke it for other people when a long time yours grew cold. It's even turned to ashes. So I want you to understand that as we go into this series, I want us not to lose sight of who we are and whose we are. When you understand that you're created for such a time as this, to impact in your own personal, individual way, you will not shy away from the responsibility of your calling. Somebody write that responsibility of your calling. You will not shy away from it because you will know that you not living your calling is going to affect the ripple effect of how this world is going to be, even though you're just the one person, because one person who is uncommon can change the world in their own way. And as an uncommon woman, I also want you to understand that sometimes things may be thrown at us that we think are just, it's too much. I've gone through stuff in life. I'm like, this is too much. But that too much is what has refined my character. It's what has given me patience. It's what has given me perseverance. It's what has given me empathy. It's what has given me compassion. I was telling a client of mine this morning that one of the biggest things that God has dealt with me in the past, I was given a full surgery of my mind and of my heart. I was given a full overhaul, a full surgery of how I look at life. And that's why some things that many other people may not be able to tolerate or handle, Coach Joanne deals with it like this. Why? Because I've been given that mantle, but I had to go through that spiritual surgery to be able to execute the things that I do. And I want you to understand that we all have a story to tell as an uncommon woman. Think about your own story. And the longer we live, right? The longer God puts us on this earth, the more stories we'll have to tell. So for me, I stopped, sharing my stories from a place of fear, or from a place of woe is me, or oh my God, that happened to me. But now I turn the story around, however painful it was at the time, into a story of triumph, a story of victory, a story of hope, a story of faith. And that is how you become uncommon. Is somebody getting this? Let's see if we're together. I need to go back to my Facebook and see that you guys are with me. Because the moment you get this, it will click for you. You will understand it in another level. And you'll be able to apply it in your life, right? You'll be able to apply and ask yourself, am I being common here or am I being uncommon? And then I also want us to understand this. There are certain laws that operate in this universe. And I was teaching my ladies yesterday about the different laws. But the law that I want to touch on today is about the law of rhythm. And the law of rhythm in this life, the moment you understand it, will completely change your life. Because you'll understand that, like nature, today it will rain, tomorrow the sun will come out, right? In terms of the sea, the sea, the tide goes out and it comes back in. Where I live, the seasons come. When it's summer, the sun is scorching hot. When it's winter, the cold is crippling. It goes right through to the bones. But summer doesn't mean that summer is better than winter, or winter is worse than summer. They're just seasons, and each season plays its role. Because in the winter, it's when nature just rests. Everything just goes quiet. The trees have shed all their leaves, and they're resting, they're regenerating, they're in their own stillness. The grass stops growing, everything in nature stops and takes a break. But us as human beings, we don't understand the seasonal nature of life. We're always running. We're always going crazy, helter skelter, helter skelter. Whereas maybe nature is reminding us that perhaps once in a while, take a step back, just like the seasons I've explained, and be in that season. Embrace the lessons of that season. Let that season sink into your bones. And again, we were sharing yesterday how sometimes a lesson will be given to you over and over and over again until you get it. Have you ever had something happen to you and you still don't get the lesson, and then the same thing will happen again to you? Another time it happens again and you're like, what is the lesson I meant to learn from here? Maybe you attract the same type of, guys, deadbeat guys who are just not really respectful of you, or who treat you with dignity. And the first one comes and the second one, and you have to stop in the tracks and say, who is the common denominator here? Who is the one person in this whole circumstance? And step back and ask yourself, why am I tolerating this? But the cycle has to happen over and over again, sometimes for you to get the lesson. And until the lesson comes to you, you'll remain in that same vicious cycle. Back to the seasons. Summer comes, spring as it is right now, and the trees are coming back to life. It's green, it's nice. You can see the grass coming out. You can see the flowers popping out of the blue. Nature is taking back, its glory. You're seeing things sprouting from the garden, things that, had been planted that were underground now are coming out because it's a season. So never feel that you've been buried deep in your problems. At one time that those same problems will not be the ones that will help you sprout out into the uncommon, refined woman that you are. And the moment you get these ladies and gents, because there are a few good men who listen to me, something will change, something will click in your life. So I want to say this. We have to understand that the person who will determine the results of your life is you. But it comes from you looking for your edge. What is your competitive edge? What is it that you do so freaking well that nobody can even doubt it? You know, you're so good at it. You can imagine like the person who does this hair, look, so intricate. Each piece, this person is a master at what they do, right? What about you? Where is your area of mastery? We all have an area of mastery, and if you've not tapped into it, I want you to sit back and ask yourself between now and the time we start the series, where is my area of mastery? Because the moment you connect with that area of mastery, your life will change. Because remember, your gifts and your talents, your purpose is what will, you know, is where the magic in you is contained, and you can monetize it. You can turn it into cash flow. You can change your life just by your gifts. So I want to say this. Whichever season you are in your life as an uncommon woman right now, I want you to take control of your life and say that, you know what? The same day I put the seed in the ground is not the same day I will harvest. The fact that you're in a season of working right now, this is a season of labor. You're putting time, you're putting effort, you're watering, you're doing, you're running around, it is okay. If you're in that season of sowing, that season of nurturing, that season of working, then put in your best effort at that time, because that's the season that you're meant to be in. Because as you're working and you're putting in the you know, your hand on the plow, there's a blessing that is attached to that. And as I said, with seasons, in due season, do not get weary of doing good, because in due season, it's just a matter of time. If you do not give up, you will reap the harvest of you putting your hand on the plow. It's just a matter of time, and you have to believe that. So I want you to say, even though your life, it's not showing, the efforts you're putting, you're not seeing them showing right now. It's just a matter of time. The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. It's just a matter of time. The fact that you're not seeing it, the fact that it's not evident to you by sight, does not mean that the situation is not happening. It does not mean it's not the evidence of absence. Something is happening, it's being stirred. The pot is being stirred. You're just not seeing what is happening underneath that pot. I remember when I launched my business at the beginning, it was hard, It was a brand new industry. I had resigned from my corporate job. I had never done coaching before. I was getting my different certifications and trainings, and that's it. I had never done anything online, teaching at this level, and so many other things. I had never understood how to do, online sales, digital marketing, sales funnels, email sequences, all manner of things that happen. I know I'm using, industry jargon, but at the time it just sounded so too much. Like, when will I ever grasp these things? And I decided that I'm going to just allow each day to come the way it comes, but to make my learning intentional. So what I did is I blocked out time in my day every single day to learn. And that's how mastery starts. So I blocked out 3 hours of intensive learning of the business processes, the structures, my content, what is it that I want to teach? And I would jump on phone calls with women to do my market research. Many people jump into business, you don't even do any research, you don't even know who it is that you're serving. You don't have any evidence that what you're doing is valid, or that that it will work. And I would jump on phone calls, 10 phone calls a day, 15 phone calls sometimes. And I would listen to the women, and I would write down notes, and I would ask them questions. And I really put my hand on the plow. And I remember, sometimes I would sit and I'm so frustrated, and I'm like, will this ever work? But one thing I know about Coach Joanne as an uncommon woman is that I was not going to look at how my circumstances were in the physical realm, because I knew there was something that was brewing in the spiritual. And that's why I said to you that the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. I knew it's just a matter of time before things started changing in my atmosphere, because I was putting in the work. I was not wary of doing good. I was not concerned with what was not working at that time. My mind was just like, yes, I was frustrated, but I was not like I wasn't going crazy. I knew eventually we're going to get there. And I want to say this: if you stay in the energy of doing the thing with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, I can tell you for free, it's just a matter of time before you succeed. And there's a quote I'm going to read for you before I wind this up. But before I read the quote, I want you to remember this. God cannot give you an idea without giving you the ability to bring it forward. That would be impossible. So when something has been injected in your spirit, the character of your creator is when he infuses those ideas in you. He knows that he has given you everything you need to bring them into fruition. But what happens is that majority of us, the common man, will stop themselves in the track. You start overthinking. You start saying things like, oh, how sure am I that that's come from God? Or maybe this is not the season. Or look at Ukraine, look at Russia. Or look at COVID, the pandemic. Maybe this is not the time. My child has just been born. Oh, I have a 3-year-old. Oh, I'm going through a difficult life situation. And you create all sorts of excuses. Whereas in your mind, the idea is so crystal. What are you waiting for? It's so crystal clear what you're meant to do, but you're the one looking for a way to wiggle out of it. And I know I'm speaking to somebody right now. You look for any excuse under the sun not to execute it. Oh, my child has just started school. When your child, what's the correlation? Your child is going to school, they're doing their thing. Can you do your thing as well? Ukraine has not gotten to South Africa, to Kenya, to Nigeria. You're safe, you're protected where you are. Your intellectual capacity has not been affected by the things that are happening in the world. Oil prices going up. How is that stopping? In fact, it should be the thing that should encourage you to work harder so that you can be able to pay your bills. And that's what I want you to see for yourself right now in this season. So I want you to go back and see where you're resisting being uncommon, because what you resist will persist. The longer you resist and refuse and not do whatever it is that you're meant to do, it won't leave you. So if I were you, I'd do it quickly so that I get it moving. Otherwise, why waste your years? Why waste 2, 3, 4 years for something that has already been downloaded into your spirit? Because as I said, your words, you'll be a much happier person when your words match your intentions, and when your actions start matching your words. You'll find yourself now saying that I said this thing, I'm going to do it, and you do it. So you're in integrity with yourself. And when you're in integrity with yourself, there's absolutely no way things will not work. It would be in violation of the laws. And I say this: if you have been sourced with an idea and has been given to it, you've been sourced with the idea, then you're going to be resourced to birth it, to bring it forward in your life. So as I wind up and we prepare for the series, I'm going to leave this a couple of questions. The rest I'm going to teach when I'm doing the masterclass. I'm just checking my notes just to see what's the most important thing. But I want you to do a check and ask yourself a couple of things right now. Are you walking your talk? Or do you tend to say one thing and do the other? Do you have absolute and resolute confidence in yourself that which you have started, that which has been given to you, you have the ability to complete it. And the third thing is, are you a woman of your word? Or are you just hot air? Talk, 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 talk. No action. Hot air just coming out. You said you're going to do, you tell your friend, I'm going to write this book, I'm going to do this thing. And they just look at you because you've said that for the last 15 years. They're even bored. They're like, when will it ever happen? Hot air, nothing, just talking. So if it's your time for you to come out of that common man's way of doing things and make a determined decision today that you're going to be uncommon, that you're going to do things that will blow your own mind. God will be so proud of you because you have taken your stance with boldness and with courage, and you have put a stake in the ground and said, this is my calling. No matter what happens, I'm going to do it. And I can tell you for a fact, that's not easy, but it's absolutely, absolutely worth it. So I'm going to love you and leave you. It's been such a wonderful conversation here. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what comes out of the series that we're going to be having next week. We'll definitely share all the registration details. But for now, sit and think about this conversation that we've had. Which season are you right now? Are you in winter or are you in spring? And embrace that season, because that's where you're meant to be. Get the lessons from that season. Don't despise it. Don't look at it with judgment. Know that that's where you're meant to be, and take the lessons from it and run with it. All right. So take care, and nice to see you. And I will see you up and around these streets next week for the 3-day Uncommon Woman series. And we'll talk about very, very, very important things that have the potential to change your life if you take them on board. All right. See you and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.